If you're a diehard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The rumor mill in Cleveland has been spinning faster than ever since the shocking news broke. The Browns have officially sent Joe Flacco packing in a lightning-fast trade package that no one saw coming. Fans and analysts alike are still picking up the pieces of what many are calling one of the most unexpected moves of the season, a decision that seems to defy logic at first glance, but might make more sense the deeper you dig into the Browns' current strategy. Joe Flacco, a former Super Bowl MVP and veteran presence in the quarterback room, has long been seen as a stabilizing force, a bridge between eras of rebuilding and actual contention. Yet here we are, with whispers suggesting that the front office was motivated by salary cap space, roster flexibility, and perhaps even a desire to give younger quarterbacks more room to grow without the looming shadow of a seasoned veteran. The reaction on social media has been instantaneous, a mixture of disbelief, anger, and curiosity, as fans scramble to understand who the Browns might have targeted in exchange for Flacco and what this means for the team's trajectory. Analysts are already speculating wildly, throwing around names and potential draft picks, trying to piece together what this bold, almost reckless, move says about Cleveland's ambitions this season. Sources close to the situation suggest that the trade was not a drawn-out negotiation, but rather a rapid-fire decision made in the span of a few hours, catching even some within the organization off guard. Reports indicate that the package the Browns received in return includes draft considerations, a young prospect, and conditional terms that could impact the team for years to come, depending on Flacco's performance with his new destination. This kind of high-velocity deal is reminiscent of blockbuster trades that redefine a franchise's identity overnight, and the Browns' decision is being analyzed with that level of scrutiny. Fans who had grown accustomed to seeing Flacco as a steadying influence now face the reality of a roster in flux, one that seems willing to gamble on potential over proven stability. The timing of the move, amid a season already fraught with injuries, inconsistencies, and mounting pressure, only heightens the drama, leaving commentators to debate whether this was sheer genius or a catastrophic miscalculation. Every corner of the NFL world is buzzing, from sports talk radio to Twitter threads, with insiders hinting that the Browns' front office had been quietly orchestrating a plan behind closed doors, one that culminated in this whirlwind trade. As speculation mounts, the narrative is being shaped not just by the facts of the trade, but by the emotional reaction of a fan base that sees a familiar face being unceremoniously shipped away, sparking conversations about loyalty, ambition, and the unpredictable nature of professional football. The narrative surrounding Joe Flacco's departure is far from simple, entwined with questions of leadership, team culture, and the delicate balance between experience and potential. Flacco, who once commanded the field with poise and precision, now becomes a symbol of transition, a reminder that no player, regardless of accolades, is immune to the ruthless calculus of the NFL. Cleveland fans are debating fiercely, dissecting every highlight, every throw, every past moment of brilliance, wondering if letting Flacco go signals a commitment to a younger quarterback's development or a deeper philosophical shift in how the franchise intends to compete. Analysts suggest that the Browns may have been quietly evaluating performance metrics, locker room influence, and long-term cost-benefit scenarios before arriving at this decision, indicating a level of strategic planning that contrasts sharply with the seemingly impulsive nature of the announcement. Meanwhile, in sports bars, online forums, and comment sections across the globe, fervent discussions continue about the impact on team chemistry, with some arguing that Flacco's veteran presence was irreplaceable and others contending that the infusion of fresh talent could energize the locker room in ways previously unimaginable. The drama is compounded by the timing of the news, coinciding with an intense stretch of the season, where every game carries enormous weight, making the Browns' gamble feel simultaneously daring and nerve-wracking. With insiders hinting at more moves on the horizon, the trade of Flacco is framed not as an isolated event, but as the opening act in what could be a transformative period for Cleveland's roster, signaling that fans may need to prepare for even more shockwaves in the near future. Rumors swirling around the league suggest that Flacco's next destination is being treated like a top-secret operation, with multiple teams reportedly vying for his services and each source offering a slightly different version of the story. The uncertainty fuels the frenzy, as media outlets scramble to report every tidbit, every leaked document, and every cryptic social media post that might shed light on where the former MVP will land. Meanwhile, Browns insiders are reportedly maintaining a tight-lipped stance, neither confirming nor denying details, a move that only amplifies speculation and allows fans' imaginations to run wild. Analysts dissect past trades of veteran quarterbacks, drawing parallels, predicting outcomes, and weighing potential matchups that could redefine playoff dynamics. In the midst of all this, the human element is not lost. FLACCO himself, a seasoned professional, must navigate the emotional complexity of leaving a team where he carved out significant chapters of his career, all while preparing to step into a new system, new teammates, and new expectations. Social media reactions range from nostalgic tributes to heated debates, each post amplifying the collective shock, while sports talk shows dedicate entire segments to unpacking the move, its rationale, and its potential ripple effects throughout the league. The Browns' trade of Joe Flacco has, in essence, ignited a maelstrom of analysis, conjecture, and heated opinion, a perfect storm of rumor and reality that continues to captivate the football world. Speculation also centers on the strategic implications for the Browns roster, particularly the potential shift in offensive philosophy that could accompany Flacco's exit. Some insiders hint that the front office is eyeing a more dynamic, aggressive approach, one that emphasizes speed, versatility, and adaptability over the structured, veteran-led schemes that defined Flacco's tenure. If true, this would suggest that the trade is not merely about economics or age, but a calculated decision to reshape the team's identity, aiming for long-term competitive advantage rather than short-term comfort. Observers point out that Cleveland's management may be signaling a willingness to embrace risk, trusting in the development of younger quarterbacks, the scouting department's acumen, and the coaching staff's ability to innovate under pressure. While fans wrestle with the immediate emotional impact, the narrative that unfolds could redefine how the franchise is perceived league-wide, positioning Cleveland as a team unafraid to make bold, controversial choices. Every rumor, every speculative report, every insider hint feeds into a larger story, one where Flacco's departure serves as both catalyst and symbol, representing the intersection of football pragmatism and the emotional pulse of a fanbase grappling with change. As the saga develops, the Browns' decision reverberates far beyond Cleveland, impacting perceptions, betting odds, and strategic calculations across the NFL. Even as the dust begins to settle, the chatter surrounding Joe Flacco's trade refuses to fade, with analysts and fans alike returning to the story again and again, dissecting each nuance and debating each consequence. The mixture of shock, curiosity, and anticipation creates a unique narrative, one that blends the tangible elements of roster moves with the intangible aspects of legacy, reputation, and emotional resonance. In many ways, Flacco's departure is emblematic of the tension inherent in professional sports, where business considerations collide with human connections, and every decision carries layers of meaning beyond the immediate scoreboard. The Browns' trade has become a case study in balancing short-term performance with long-term vision, forcing the football world to reconsider assumptions about player value, organizational philosophy, and the unpredictable nature of the game itself. Meanwhile, fans continue to speculate on social media, theorize about potential future trades, and revisit old highlights in a bittersweet mix of nostalgia and anticipation, demonstrating the depth of attachment that can exist between a team and its former heroes. The ongoing coverage, the endless rumination, and the constant dialogue ensure that Flacco's departure will remain a central talking point, not just for Cleveland, but for anyone interested in the ever-shifting dynamics of NFL rosters and the drama that defines them. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. As the whirlwind surrounding Joe Flacco's trade continues to unfold, speculation intensifies about the ripple effects on the Browns' locker room, particularly regarding team dynamics and leadership structure. Veteran players who once relied on Flacco's steady hand must now adapt to a shifting hierarchy, where experience gives way to emerging talent and younger quarterbacks are expected to shoulder responsibility under the spotlight. Rumors suggest that the coaching staff is re-evaluating the offensive playbook, exploring schemes that maximize speed, unpredictability, and adaptability, a stark contrast to the more methodical approach Flacco employed during his tenure. Fans, meanwhile, are engaged in passionate debates across social media, dissecting every throw, every audible, every past performance in a search for insight into whether this trade signals a genuine evolution or a desperate gamble. Analysts weigh the psychological impact, noting that removing a veteran leader can either galvanize a team or destabilize it, depending on how seamlessly the transition is managed. Meanwhile, whispers persist that other franchises are monitoring the situation closely, with some contemplating opportunistic moves should Flacco land in a new environment where his veteran skills could tilt the balance of power. The narrative is as much about perception as it is about reality, and the Browns are navigating a delicate balance between immediate performance, fan sentiment, and long-term strategic planning, creating a complex web of intrigue and uncertainty that extends well beyond the confines of Cleveland Stadium. Insiders suggest that the decision to trade Flacco was influenced not only by immediate roster considerations, but also by broader philosophical shifts within the organization, signaling a willingness to embrace risk in pursuit of long-term rewards. There are murmurs that the front office has been quietly building toward this moment for months, analyzing advanced metrics, performance trends, and salary implications, all while projecting future scenarios for both veterans and emerging stars. The trade is thus framed as a calculated, albeit dramatic, maneuver designed to realign the team's priorities and potentially accelerate the development of the next franchise quarterback. Meanwhile, fan reactions continue to fluctuate between shock, anger, and cautious optimism, with many expressing gratitude for Flacco's past contributions while simultaneously speculating about how the change might inject fresh energy into the roster. Social media platforms are saturated with memes, analysis threads, and live commentary, reflecting a global fascination with the unfolding saga and demonstrating how a single trade can dominate conversation far beyond its immediate context. Analysts emphasize that the timing and execution of this deal may serve as a blueprint or a cautionary tale for other organizations considering similar moves, highlighting the interconnectedness of strategy, perception, and execution in professional football. In essence, Flacco's departure has transformed from a simple roster adjustment into a broader narrative about leadership, organizational vision, and the relentless evolution of a team in pursuit of sustained success, with implications that could reverberate across the league for years to come. Rumors about Flacco's potential landing spot are equally tantalizing, with multiple teams reportedly weighing not just his on-field skills, but also his influence in the locker room and mentorship potential for younger quarterbacks. Some sources hint at clandestine meetings and off-the-record conversations, suggesting that franchises are jockeying aggressively to secure his services before rivals can react. Every piece of information, whether verified or speculative, fuels the frenzy, creating an environment where even minor hints are dissected and amplified by fans, pundits, and insiders alike. Analysts debate the strategic benefits of acquiring a seasoned veteran versus investing in untested talent, often returning to comparisons of past trades and their long-term impact on team trajectories. Meanwhile, Flacco himself becomes a central figure in a complex web of narratives, navigating the emotional weight of leaving a team that defined much of his professional identity while confronting the expectations of a new environment. Social media commentary oscillates between nostalgia for Flacco's past glory and excitement for the uncertainty of what comes next, reflecting the human fascination with both continuity and disruption in sports. The Browns trade has effectively transformed into a living story, one that evolves by the hour and illustrates the unpredictable, rumor-driven energy that defines NFL fandom, where every move carries consequences far beyond the immediate transaction. Experts suggest that the trade could also influence the league's perception of veteran quarterbacks, highlighting how even decorated players are not immune to the shifting tides of opportunity and strategy. The narrative surrounding Flacco emphasizes that experience alone may no longer guarantee job security, especially in a league increasingly dominated by analytics, cost efficiency, and the search for long-term upside. Rumors circulate that other teams are re-evaluating their own veteran contracts in light of this move, potentially accelerating a trend where seasoned quarterbacks are seen more as negotiable assets than untouchable pillars of the franchise. Fans react with a mix of indignation and fascination, debating whether the Browns' decision reflects bold foresight or a short-sighted gamble that risks alienating loyal supporters. Meanwhile, insiders suggest that the coaching staff is already implementing contingency plans, preparing offensive schemes that accommodate the remaining talent while anticipating how FLACCO's absence might alter team chemistry. The ongoing speculation creates a layered narrative that blends fact, conjecture, and emotional resonance, allowing each stakeholder, player, coach, analyst, and fan, to interpret the move through a personal lens. In this environment, the Browns trade transcends a simple roster update, evolving into a broader commentary on the evolving NFL landscape, the economics of player management, and the delicate equilibrium between performance, potential, and perception that defines the modern game. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!